The 2011 NHL entry draft was headlined by players such as Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Gabriel Landeskog, and Jonathan Huberdeau. These players all turned out to be solid pieces for their franchises, and we're just seeing now that one of the top 3 picks might end up on a different team. Honestly, 10 years later, the 2011 draft class is looking quite good as long as your team drafted in the lottery. Except for pick number 11. Where did Duncan Siemens seem like a better defenseman than Jamie Olesiak, Nathan Beaulieu, or Oscar Klefbom? And sure, Connor Murphy hasn't been a top pairing defenseman at the next pick either, but I'd take 175 NHL games played over 20 as any NHL team's GM. But man, imagine if the Colorado Avalanche picked up Landeskog and JT Miller in this draft. Maybe Colorado would have beaten Vegas in the Western Conference Finals this year. Anyways, all fun and games aside, at the end of the day, this draft saw players like Mark Scheifele, Sean Couturier, Mika Zibanejad, Dougie Hamilton, Jonas Brodin, and JT Miller go in the top 15 too. So looking back at 10 years since the 2011 NHL draft was concluded, here are my 10 biggest draft steals that only a handful of teams saw coming or got lucky on, especially the Tampa Bay Lightning. Damn, they had 3 guys on their cup-winning roster from this list this year. So just before we actually jump into this video, if you guys have not yet, make sure to go down below, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit that notification bell to never miss when these videos come out. So these players are being ranked on 3 things. 1 is how many better players were taken ahead of them, 2 is how far down in the draft they were selected, and 3 is how impactful they have been for their team/teams. So coming in at number 10, we have Blake Coleman, selected 75th overall by the New Jersey Devils. Being a great pick in the mid-3rd round, Blake Coleman has developed into an underrated mid-6 two-way forward. He played 4 seasons for the New Jersey Devils before being shipped off to Tampa Bay, where he won 2 cups with the Lightning and has just recently signed a contract with the Calgary Flames. For his career statistics, Blake Coleman has 301 games played, 71 goals, 55 assists for 126 points. Not bad for a 3rd round pick. Coming in at number 9, we have Ryan Dzingel, selected 204th by the Ottawa Senators. Out of all honesty, Ryan Dzingel was a great 7th round pick. He's developed into a solid top 6 to 9 two-way forward on any NHL team, and he helped in Ottawa's 2017 Conference Finals run. He has bounced around the league a bit, but he is now back with the Senators and has a career 372 games played, 82 goals, 98 assists for 180 points. Not bad for one of the last picks of this draft. Coming in at number 8, we have Jean-Gabriel Pageau, selected 96th overall, again by the Ottawa Senators. For a 5'10" 4th round pick, Pageau has done quite well for himself in the NHL up to the current day. With 79 points in just 62 junior games for his draft-eligible year in Gatineau, I don't know what else screams future NHLer, because he pretty well was a bona fide pick that fell to the 4th round. Pageau bounced around between the NHL and AHL for about 3 seasons after he was drafted before he finally stuck on the Senators roster. He played 6 solid seasons for Ottawa before being shipped out to Long Island and securing a 6-year, $30 million deal with the Islanders. Pageau has played 489 career games in the NHL, with 103 goals, 109 assists for 212 career points. Moving on to number 7 now, we have Jordan Binnington, selected 88th overall by the St. Louis Blues. For a late 3rd round pick, Binnington didn't rise to NHL glory until his rookie season in the 2018-19 season, where he produced arguably his best season, leading the Blues from dead last in the NHL at the winter break all the way to the Stanley Cup, defeating the Boston Bruins in Game 7 of the 2019 Finals. Overall, Binnington would be a starting caliber goalie for most NHL teams today, and he has a career 125 games played, 72 wins, and a .915 save percentage. Coming in at number 6 now, we have VINCENT TROCHEK, selected 64th overall by the Florida Panthers. Drafted with the 3rd pick of the 3rd round in 2011, TROCHEK has become a solid middle 6 NHL forward for almost any team in the league. He played 7 full seasons for the Florida Panthers before being traded to Carolina recently. TROCHEK has dealt with some injuries but is still a bona fide NHLer, and today he has a career 474 games played, 129 goals, 198 assists for 327 points. And although TROCHEK did kind of go cold against the Tampa Bay Lightning in their most recent playoff series, that's why I have ranked him behind the next player on this list. So coming in at number 5 now, we have William Karlsson, selected 53rd overall by the Anaheim Ducks. Karlsson was a late 2nd rounder in 2011, and it took him about 3 seasons to develop into a consistent NHLer. After half a season with the Ducks, he was then traded to the Columbus Blue Jackets, where he put up 45 points over about a season and a half. But for Karlsson, the Vegas expansion draft changed everything, as he exploded for 78 points in his first season with the Vegas Golden Knights. Karlsson was also one of the driving factors on this Stanley Cup Finals run that saw Vegas lose in 5 games to the Washington Capitals in their inaugural season. Karlsson has a career 466 NHL games played with 114 goals, 155 assists for 269 NHL points. Moving on to number 4 now, we have Ondrej Palat, drafted 208th overall by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Being an amazing late 7th round pick, Tampa honestly stole Palat from this draft. Palat has played a top 6 role on back-to-back cup-winning Tampa Bay teams now. He took a few years to develop, as most 7-rounders should, but he has turned into one of the most effective forwards in this entire draft. Palat seems to have a knack of scoring about 40 points as long as he plays right around 60 games in a season, and he has a career 551 games played, 125 goals, 249 assists for 374 NHL points. Pretty good for one of the last picks of the entire 2011 draft. Moving on to the 3rd biggest draft steal of the 2011 NHL draft, we have John Gibson, selected 39th overall by the Anaheim Ducks. For an earlier 2nd rounder, Gibson was slated to become an NHL starter, but Gibson has become a top 10, if not arguably top 5 goalie in the NHL over the past 8 seasons with the Ducks. Although the Ducks have been pretty bad over the past 3 seasons, Gibson will be coming into the prime of his career as the team's top prospects start to develop into full-time NHLers. You can't exactly blame his bad record You can't exactly blame Gibson's poor record on him. It's more so the team in front of him at the moment. Overall, John Gibson has a career 322 games played, 148 wins, and a .917 save percentage. Moving on to number 2, we have Johnny Gaudreau. In just about any other draft steals video, Gaudreau would arguably be the number 1 draft steal in any video, except for this one. Gaudreau was selected 104th overall by the Calgary Flames in 2011 and fell to the 4th round because of his size. Although he was viewed as an incredibly high-skilled winger, few NHL teams expected him to make it to the NHL level, again due to his size. Gaudreau really broke out in the 2014-15 season, putting up 64 points in 80 games. Since then, he's hit the 78-point mark or more in 3 out of 7 seasons with the Flames. He has a career 520 games played, 170 goals, 324 assists for 494 points. Not bad for a guy that was viewed as too small to make the NHL. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have Nikita Kucherov, selected 58th overall by the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Like, what were you doing, Edmonton? You could have had Kucherov playing alongside Connor McDavid.
Nikita Kucherov flew under the radar for most NHL teams due to his play in Russia. He was still drafted in the late second round after putting up 101 NHL points in 64 games over the span of 2 seasons leading up to his draft-eligible year. After being drafted, Kucherov moved over to the QMJHL to adjust to the North American ice surface, where he produced 63 points in just 33 games played between the Quebec Ramparts and the Rouyn-Noranda Huskies. Since then, Kucherov has played 7 seasons for the Tampa Bay Lightning. In 2018-19, he won the Hart and the Art Ross trophies, putting up 128 points throughout an 82-game campaign. Kucherov has a career of 515 NHL games played, 221 goals, 326 assists for 547 points, and he is the only player over a point per game on this entire list. Kucherov is a top 5 player in today's NHL, just recently winning his 2nd Stanley Cup with the Lightning, and it's crazy to think that he fell to the late 2nd round simply because he was playing overseas. So guys, that's my top 10 biggest draft steals for the 2011 NHL draft. So let me know your opinion down below in the comments, and feel free to roast me if you think that my opinion is wrong. And of course, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell to never miss when these videos come out. And until next time.